It's 6 p.m. I'll call this meeting to order with a pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from May 19th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence, Lisa?
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the May 2025 expenses?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any question on expenses? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Old business? No. New business? Motion to approve or deny purchase of 2025 Polaris Ranger.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second. Sorry,
Are we approving or denying?
approve.
To approve.
Any questions?
Yeah, why do we need a Polaris Ranger?
To replace the 2014 Ranger that we have now. That's
Right, that was bought so that they could move the lawnmowers back and forth, but they drive them up and down the road. They don't put them on the trailer. I remember the conversation we had 11 years ago with the supervisors were about driving the Ranger on the road. So if they're not using the Ranger and putting them in a trailer, they're driving the mowers back and forth.
They're going to have to start.
But I'm sure it's not $5,000.
The other, the Ranger that they have now, I hooked up a trailer and put a motor on and it wouldn't do it. And it was just too much for it. So they've never really pulled much of anything with it because it's a 400cc machine.
What is it used for, I guess, then?
They use it to run around the parks, pick up garbage and you know, put the garbage cans in the back.
What's wrong with the one we have?
Well, we want to do more with it. We also want to haul millings back into the woods and that.
We have a Bobcat that we just paid a lot of money for, I understand. I just think we've got too much equipment in this township.
Well, we're not going to keep the other Ranger.
I didn't say that. I said we think we just have too much equipment.
No.
We spend a lot of money on equipment and it sits around. If you're not using the equipment,
Well, that won't
it makes
sit.
you no money. I know we're not in the business of making money, but if the equipment is just sitting around, I understand snowplows don't get used in the summer, there's no snow. But we have a lot of equipment that we use for very little stuff. We have a Bobcat.
That isn't all they do. They
A
use it
Ranger,
every day.
how big of a trailer is on a Ranger versus the bucket of a Bobcat?
It's the weight capacity. It's
Bobcat can hold more
wider.
than a Ranger.
It's wider and it's deeper and it can hold 500 more pounds than what we have. The one we have now, I've tried it. But they also go and take the weed whackers and they go all through the ball fields and up to the senior center. They're always hauling stuff around. They put push mowers in the back of it. They drive it every day, quite a bit actually.
There's a red one-ton truck sitting at the township park all the time. Put it on that. I think we just spend too much money.
That was supposed to get sold and it's still May. We don't really know what they're going to do. It's too much for her and him to use. It doesn't make sense, so they really don't use it. The only time they use that lately is when we go to the roundabout, and that's a whole other story. But, because we can't drive the Ranger to the roundabout. But the Ranger gets used a lot, and that's really the crux of the whole thing. They will drive that daily. Most of the day, they have it out with them all the time. I mean, it's always somewhere. So, I don't know, it's just time to get something fresher. That one's wore out. It's 14 years old, and it's gone through 3 sets of tires and several different problems. We put a starter in it, we put a fuel pump in it, we put some other stuff in it. Electrical trouble, turn signals don't work anymore, tailgate's broken. Plenty of things wrong with it, but we're going to spruce it up and see what we can get out of it. We won't just give it away, we'll sell it for all we can get. It was just part of the budget.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Land development, Tammy?
So, tonight we're gonna talk about Old Dominion Freight Line, land development plan, and they provided us with a little tiny PowerPoint. I'm just gonna walk you through it. This is parcel 4012-46-1, and this is located at 7530 Footmill Road. This zoning district is mixed-use regional. These folks had to go in front of the zoning hearing board in January of '24 to get approval for a special exception, and the zoning hearing board did agree with that to allow them to have that special exception as a truck terminal. They're going to be located on the corner of Penbriar and Footmill. It's a truck terminal, Old Dominion Freight Line. Again, this is the zoning map. They're in the mixed-use regional area. And that use was a special exception. The proposed improvements would include a 43-door facility truck terminal, approximately 43 employees, 75 doors in total. And the future expansion is going to include 75 employees. They're going to improve Footmill Road, increase road classification from a local to a collector. We did receive their bond for a performance bond for $258,582 for that bond. The next slide is the site plan, and we'll show you the final land development plan, which is very similar to that. And this is it in color at another location, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And again, they went in front of the zoning hearing board to get approval on January 23rd, 2024. They abandoned, Dr. Durst abandoned her instrument numbers 2024-012748. They abandoned that road, that cul-de-sac area, wasn't it?
Mhm.
That right away. And then got Erie County Conservation District approval. We got the wetland permit. The Planning Commission approved this plan on April 14th. Erie County Planning approved this plan on April 29th. We received, our photometric plan, our stormwater bond and agreement, road occupancy bond, operations permit. We will be doing that next when they want to start moving dirt. They don't plan on starting this project until spring. Let's see what else. We have our developers agreement in place with our escrow. Stormwater bond, again, $1,032.14. And the developer's escrow, what we have left right now is $2,981.
Was there any signage, Tammy, or minimal?
They haven't discussed signage with me yet,
Okay.
but on this plan that he showed us what it's going to look like, I don't see a lot of signage.
No. And if not, the wetlands was all down
In the back, yes, along the stream
along
corridor.
the stream, nothing on the site per se.
There was a couple little spots, but they went through the whole mitigation process, a couple pocket wetlands throughout. But the bulk of it was in the back.
Got it.
So overall, it's a 21,685 square foot trucking terminal to include administrative office, and obviously they mentioned the doors, the door cross docks, and they have the associated green space plan that was approved by the Planning Commission. It looks like they have their ducks in a row. We've been working on this for a while now, for 2 years. So.
Any questions for Tammy?
what's that gonna do to Penbury Drive, driving all those tractor trailers loaded at 80,000 pounds onto it? Matt, is it designed for that? I mean,
Yeah, they did quarries before they went all the way from Bloomfield Parkway down Penbriar and then Footmill to determine pavement structure. The only place that was really lacking was Footmill, so they're rebuilding the entire road from Penbriar to their driveway. They're gonna rip it out and rebuild the whole way. Penbriar was deemed acceptable for what they're planning on doing.
I take it it would be the southwest corner of Footmill and Penbriar, where that little cul-de-sac road is now.
Correct.
So they're taking the cul-de-sac out, so they're going to drive the trucks onto Footmill and then come back out onto Penbriar, or
Correct.
Correct.
why do they need to go onto Footmill? They can't come in off of Penbriar and come back out of their parking lot?
I think a lot of that had to do with the stormwater.
Yeah, looks like your
This-
wetlands in the upper left there.
Yeah, we had the stream, we had the wetlands, and where the stormwater needed to go, the low spot was along Penbriar, because it kind of goes uphill from there. So Footmill was the best alternative. And the site is a one-way in and one-way out, is kind of a circular circulation.
Okay. Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve or deny a land development plan for Old Dominion Freight Line, 7530 Footmill Road?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No use request? Yes, okay. Solicitor?
Nothing actionable this evening.
Engineer Jonas?
I have nothing to do this evening.
Supervisor Lee?
It's good to see a little warmer air coming and the sun. Been a long spring. Now we're in June. Everything's going well. Thank you.
Tony?
Well, parks are open, everything's going well, the fields are all in great shape. The drainage they did last year up in community parks really paid off. The ball fields dried out fast, much faster than you normally do. The soccer fields are good and dry. We were actually able to roll them a couple weeks ago. It's really early for that, so everything's looking good. UISA is getting ready to start playing up there now, and fields are looking really great. Picnicanas all together, the trails are in good shape. Guys got the pavilion blasted, and it's all ready to go. We'll have to do a coating on that yet, probably toward fall when we start working on closing down. But other than that, everything's going pretty well.
Okay.
Pretty well.
Road crew, we start on Downs Drive today. We'll probably be there the majority of the week. Things went really smooth this morning. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get the drains put in. We'll be starting on the boulevards. They're looking to come in and pave on second week of June sometime.
July or June?
June.
Next week.
Yeah. Yep. It's coming quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, this is the first week of June.
We got a call from Sudcoat. They're looking to come in tomorrow morning, measure up our roads. They're looking to tar and chip June 18th, which is a month earlier than we figured we'd see them, but we welcome them. And so we'll have quite a bit of work to do. We'll have a week to finish crack seal and some spot patching. It's going to be, month of June's going to be very busy. We're behind on our painting. We haven't been able to paint at all because of the weather, but hopefully break out, start painting the crosswalks and stop bars and turn arrows. We've got a lot of work to do there. But all in all, everything's going really smooth, and June's going to blow by pretty quick for us. Public input, 3 minutes.
Guess I should ask this a few minutes before. Do you have a Ranger picked out with the price?
Yeah.
Do you know what the price is?
2025, 2000 cc, our cost was 11,225, and then when they throw the dock fees on, the windshield and the roof is 14,200. And it was by far the least expensive of the 3 quotes we got. And that's from off-road from Joe. Joe actually even threw in an additional $1,000 rebate for whatever township. He's a good guy. We appreciate Joe.
Yes.
And I don't know if we can do anything about it, but twice now in the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, I pull up to go onto I-90 West, and there's that concrete barrier between the turn lanes, and there's a gentleman sitting there holding a sign. And I'm like, you're gonna die. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, and cars are buzzing by him at 30 miles an hour. And then I seen another one standing this past weekend where you turn into Walmart from Peach Street going south, standing on the thing again. And those cars are flying. I mean, I'm not gonna go out there and do that, but are we liable if someone's standing on the road like that? Can we enforce something to get the, I mean, it looks bad in some township. I mean, we got homeless people standing in the middle of Peach Street holding signs. And they're the same people on a regular basis. I don't know, do we have a rule on it that?
We're gonna ask the solicitor
Okay.
how that works.
So I've looked into this for the township because it is a concern, not just in Summit Township, but in many different municipalities across northwestern Pennsylvania. It's just very visible here, given the number and the amount of traffic, and I fully recognize the safety concern. No, the township's not liable for individuals standing on the side of the road holding a sign, doing whatever it is that they're doing. The township does have a certain level of governmental immunity that is provided to it by statute, in the event that something like that would be happening, that's not as a result of the negligence of the township. Additionally, the United States Supreme Court has found that panhandling is a First Amendment protected speech, that municipalities have very limited ability to infringe upon that speech by regulating how and where that can occur. Additionally, there is a crime, I believe it's a misdemeanor, that is in the vehicle code. It might just be a citation, excuse me, it's a summary level offense in the vehicle code, stating that individuals cannot stand in medians or in the right-of-way roads for the purpose of interacting with vehicles, selling or making requests of individuals in those vehicles. However, that is something that would have to be enforced by the state police. And in my research, I found that it was not a crime that the state police has enforced actively.
Somebody's gonna get killed.
It is extremely dangerous. It's extremely unsettling. However, we're very limited in our ability to regulate. And we took a deep dive into the issue because we know how much of a concern it is for the township.
And the businesses up there are, you know, they don't like it any more than we do, you know, and it's a reflection on their businesses, and, you know, they try to, you know, ask them nicely not to solicit on their properties because, you know, they're bringing clients in that are looking to open up a, you know, bike shop or bed place or whatever, you know, and they come pulling in, there's panhandlers there, so they try to discourage them from being on the, you know, private properties, you know. But yeah, not crazy about it either.
I've seen them standing, I presume it would be, I don't know if Summit Township owns the road, but it's the right of way of Keystone Drive going out at Peach Street. There's those the concrete raised areas in the middle of the road. That's our responsibility. Can't you say you're not allowed to be on our property standing in the middle of the road?
Well, it's PennDOT's, it's not ours.
Well, Keystone Drive's our road.
Yeah,
It-
okay.
It's not in Peach Street, it's
Okay.
on the Keystone Drive as you come out.
Yeah,
Those little,
Yep.
little bumps there where the
Boulevards,
turns are,
yeah.
they stand in there and hold the signs.
Yeah.
That's
It's First Amendment protected speech. So,
right, for the sign, but the trespassing, I'm just,
Well,
it's a good idea.
someone's gonna get killed.
public right-of-ways are, you know, for the public. So, you know, they're not really trespassing if they're within the public right-of-way. Know what
Okay.
you're saying, Jim?
I just, the guy sitting on the one between the two turn lanes on Peach Street to go on 99, I'm like, wow, this guy is just asking to die.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?